Well, good morning, everybody. Mac Kerfman here with Max Java Coffee Roasters, here with another edition of All About Coffee. This morning, we're talking about the processes of raw coffee. How do you get the layers off of the coffee bean? We talked the other day about the 5 layers on top of the beans that are inside of the cherry. So there are 2 main processes. The first one we're going to talk about today is the dry process. The second one, which we'll talk about later on, is the wet process, dry and wet. And of course, there are variants on those as well. All right. So the dry process. The growers pick the cherries off of the Coffea trees, and what they do is they lay them out in big drying beds. They sort them, of course, to make sure they're all red. You don't want the green ones in there because, again, they're not ripe. So they lay the ripe cherries out in big drying beds to dry in the sun. So they're sun-dried. The sun beats down on the cherries and, of course, erodes the cherry from the coffee bean. So they're big drying beds. Sometimes you see pictures of them. They're concrete slabs. Sometimes they're raised platforms, but they're all big drying beds. And of course, they're raked as well. So they're turned and raked. And because if they're not turned and raked, the mucilage will then mold and mildew, and again, you'll get a bad taste in the coffee. So the dry process, it's called dry or natural processed. You see that natural processed coffees. Now, there's advantages and disadvantages for the dry processed coffee. Advantages are you get some real fruity taste, some real fruity notes to the coffees, particularly blueberry, strawberry, those kinds of fruits, sometimes even a little bit of citrus as well. So it imparts a real fruitiness to the coffee. Sometimes it imparts a little bit of sourness to the coffee, some mildew or mold. Again, that's because they weren't processed correctly. So there's advantages and disadvantages to the dry processed coffee. But again, big drying beds, you'll see, again, pictures of the big drying beds and then rakes to turn them. So that's the dry process. We'll talk later on. Hope you have a great day. Thank you.